You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button.
Brian Kelly is going scorched earth right now. 3 commitments in 4 days right now for the LSU football program. That is up to 18 now. Latest commit, Andre Evans, Andre with an O, O-N-D-R-E. Andre Evans, the latest commit to LSU today. He's a 4-star defensive back. Now, he's a two-way player in high school. Plays both corner and receiver. But he came to LSU camp, worked out as a cornerback, and completely popped off. And he's got big offers. I mean, he's got Georgia and Alabama among his offers. And if you're talking about a guy, a defensive back that has offers from Georgia and Alabama, you know he's legit. And obviously LSU, DBU, and now he's decided to shut down his recruitment and commit to LSU. So 4-star Andre Evans is the latest commit for LSU's 2024 class. We could all talk about the prospect, and look, if you're 6 foot and 183 pounds and you've got offers from all the major schools, you're legit. We understand that. And that's awesome. The thing that really stands out to me is how many defensive backs LSU has committed in this class right now. You have 18 commitments as part of LSU's 2024 class right now. 18 commits in the 2024 high school class. 7 of the 18 are defensive backs. We've talked about how many guys from Louisiana, which has clearly been a huge push in this class. But 7 of the 18 commitments are defensive backs. DBU, as it was said, DBU was built with elite high school talent. You don't need me to run through the names, but just as a refresher, LaRon Landry, Jamal Adams, Patrick Peterson, Morris Claiborne, Tyrann Mathieu, Derek Stingley, Tre'Davious White, Dante Jackson. I could go on and on and on and on and on. You know the names. LSU built the reputation as DBU through the high school ranks. The last 2 years, LSU has had to attack the transfer portal just to have a competent secondary. Last year, it was Joe Fouché and Greg Brooks and Jark Bernard Converse and Mekhi Garner and Cody Dickerson, a.k.a. Colby Richardson. Before that, you had Major Burns, of course, who you brought in from Georgia. This year, you go and get Denver Harris, J.K. Johnson, Zai Alexander, Deuce Chestnut. You got one returning cornerback. One, LaTerrence Welch. Eventually, you're going to get back to a point where you build that position group through high school recruiting and supplement with the transfer portal. That's what LSU's done on the offensive line. They've built through the high school ranks, and they're supplementing with the portal. Miles Frazier, last year Tremont Shorts as well. They're supplementing. This year they got the big offensive lineman out of Maryland. You've built through the high school ranks. You're supplementing with the portal. And that's what you'd love to be able to do in the defensive backfield and will be able to do eventually. It's why I would argue that the defensive backfield and solidifying that is the most important position group in the 2024 class. Like, we could talk quarterback, but honestly, look at LSU's history with quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels, transfer. Joe Burrow, transfer. Danny Etling, transfer. Zach Mettenberger, transfer. LSU leans on transfers. So that's probably what's going to happen again in the future. I mean, I hope Nussmeier has a great year. Behind him, I hope Ricky Collins is awesome. And Colin Hurley behind him is awesome. And maybe you hit with one of those guys or multiple of those guys. That would be awesome. But I'm looking at a more than a decade sample that suggests you're probably going to have to lean on the transfer portal for quarterback. Okay. You've built the offensive line. I think you've rebuilt your defensive front seven as well. It's time to look at the secondary. And you've got to go ham in that secondary. You added some really nice pieces in the 2023 class. and some of those guys that they're very high on. But understanding it's going to be this year transfers running your secondary. But when those guys process out, if it's to the draft or transfer, whatever it may be, who's next? Making sure you hit on your 2023 signees and add more depth and talent in 2024 assures you that if you do lose guys to the portal, when guys leave portal draft early, you have a stockpile of talent waiting. I mean, the story we always tell is Greedy Williams. Greedy Williams came to LSU and redshirted. He redshirted. And because Christian Fulton was ineligible and he had injuries, 2017, the opener against BYU, Greedy Williams had to play. And all he did was have a pick in like the first 5 games and became an All-American. So, but they had that stockpile of talent waiting. They're building the stockpile again. Because in the transition out of the Ogeron era, when they missed on some guys, and then obviously you had the transfers that you did, and Elias Ricks left, and Dwight McGlothern left, just to field a competent team, you had to go add guys in the portal. And you've had to do that for 2 years. But now you're stacking 2 classes on top of each other to make sure that doesn't happen again. So hat tip to Brian Kelly, the latest commit. Of course, earlier this week it was Joel Rogers, the safety. Today, Andre Evans, a cornerback out of Nashville. That best player in the state of Tennessee and a player that everybody wanted. And you got him. Hat tip, Brian Kelly, Robert Steeples, Matt House, Kerry Cooks, the whole squad there at LSU doing work. Continuing to build DBU back up to its expected level.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.